far away. A young karate nerd explores the roots of karate, challenging his mind and body and sharing his epic discoveries. Jesse Incap is the karate nerd in Okinawa.
So I was just on my way to my own morning practice when I walked past this. Look, they're practicing sumo wrestling just outside of the Budokan. A sumo wrestler in Japanese is known as a sumo tori, and they have super high status or rank as they progress in the sport, and regular people adore them. They make tons of money, they have tons of fans, and of course, it's very competitive. It's super difficult to become the top ranked sumo wrestler, but if you do, you're set for life. This right here is the famous Funakoshi Gichin monument. Check it out. Funakoshi Gichin was the founder of what would later be known as Shotokan Karate-do, and this monument was built in his honor, and it says Karate ni sente nashi, which a lot of people translate to there is no first attack in karate. But to me, I have a different kind of interpretation, because sometimes you might need to attack first if it comes to life and death, right? If you want to protect yourself and your family, you might have to hit before you get hit, right? So, this particle, which is pronounced ni, can actually be translated to against, making the whole meaning there is no first attack against karate. And that's my personal interpretation of this saying. In other words, you always have a relaxed awareness. You're always ready to defend yourself and your family for whenever shit hits the fan. So, you cannot surprise a karate practitioner if you have practiced correctly. That's my interpretation. And also, you can see here, these are the people who helped to fund this monument. And right here, we have the 20 famous rules or sayings of wisdom from Funakoshi Sensei, the Niju Kun. And that's Karate ni sente nashi right there, the most famous one. We're now entering Tsuboya, the ancient pottery district in Naha City, right here. I just bought 2 awesome coffee cups, and now I'm about to go make my own at the Pottery Dojo right here. Alright, here we go. Unfortunately, I had to take off the Seishin bracelet. I'm better at tying my belt than this. Okay, that was fun. Unfortunately, we could not film anything in there while making. I did a bowl actually while making the bowl, but it will need like 1 to 2 months before it's ready, because it's gonna dry and everything, and then they're actually gonna send it from here. So I promise to post a photo when I get it at home. Now we're at one of the most famous cemeteries in Naha City, and we're about to find the Ohaka, the grave of Matsumura Sokon, also known as Bushi Matsumura, the legendary karate expert. As you can see, the Okinawan style tomb or ohaka is very different from a Western one, since the whole family is inside one of these ohaka, and they're often formed as a turtle, kami in Japanese. Here we are, the ohaka, the grave or the tomb of Matsumura Sokon, also known as Bushi, which was a title given to him by the king himself. Bushi Matsumura was a servant, or not only a servant, but a martial arts teacher and bodyguard to 3 of the kings. Here, the kings were of the Sho family, here in the Ryukyu Kingdom period, before it was united to Okinawa. And if you practice any style like Shotokan or Shitoryu or Shorinryu, then the katas you practice are because of this man, because he handed them down to present day through his students, of course. And you're supposed to bow if you enter here, just like in a dojo. And the families will come here to the graves and sweep, clean, put some nice flowers and fruits to make a sacrifice, and then they will have like a ritual. And sometimes they even open it, they remove the bones and they clean up the bones. So the Okinawan relationship to death is not like in the West. It's not the absence of life. It's just a natural continuation in the cycle of progression. So your spirit is always here, and they have like garden parties at these grave sites. It's so different to the way we're used to dealing with death. There's a very famous story about Matsumura. When he was about to serve the king, he had to undertake a test. And the test was this. Inside of a giant arena, he had to face a black bull. And the Okinawan bulls, they are super dangerous. They even have these bullfights still going on today. But he had to do it himself. And facing a bull, if he won, he would be taken into the royal family as a servant. So, what did he do? Well, for like a month, every day, secretly, he went to the place where they kept the bulls. He flashed his fan, and then he beat the bull every day, until one day, he just had to open up his fan, and when the bull saw it, he would instinctively react and be afraid, right? So then, when the big day came, and the king was sitting there and all of the people were there in the arena, Matsumura went out to the arena, they let the bull out, he walked up to the bull, he flashed his fan, and the bull just ran away. Mind over muscle. If you see those small kanji, those small signs right next to his name, up in the upper right corner, that's Bushi, which is different from the Japanese Bushi. In mainland Japan, a Bushi is simply a warrior, like a samurai warrior. But in Okinawa, a Bushi is a gentleman warrior, a scholar, someone who has mastered both the brush and the sword, the theory, the study, and the fighting arts. Both together is called Bun Bu Ryodo in Japanese. Like in the West we say the pen and the sword. Same thing. Right now I'm in Yomitan village outside of Naha city, and I'm about to go train here right behind me at the Myobukan dojo of Higa sensei.
Hey.
Hey. 코를 긁고 코르잖아. 코를 긁고. 네. 그자. 마요. 아이들から入れさせて、相手の入れさせて顔してるのもあるけどさ、これとこっちも。もう相手がこう来るのを押さえてる。どうしました。ローマ。ありますね。ローマ。マリア帰ったの？
Alright, finally back home in Naha from training at Higa Sensei's dojo. And wow, I actually learned a brand new kata, and that was like years ago. So, I mean, I'm like a kid in a candy store. That kata, I've never seen it before. It's called Myoshuken, and I believe it is only practiced in this particular dojo in the whole of Okinawa. So I was super fortunate to learn that kata along with its bunkai or practical applications. So now, when I have some free time, I really need to practice that on my own, and I might even teach that to some of my friends back home. Higa Sensei also, of course, like almost every other sensei, had me demonstrate some kata. And they always do that here because they want to see what your style is like and what your level is like. And then of course some black belts from his dojo showed their moves as well, including koburo, the weapons. Because here, karate and koburo are always practiced together, right? Sometimes separately, but they're just two sides of the same coin basically. And I love the fact that Higa Sensei used these Okinawan old words from the Uchinaguchi, the native tongue. For example, he had this concept of sasoidi, which means that you, and di of course means hand in the Okinawan language, and sasoidi means that you open yourself up, you invite your opponent by creating traps using your kamae, your body language, so that, for example, this way you open up your face, right? So because you want your opponent to attack there and then use that to your advantage when you defend yourself. And he had all of these cool applications and combat concepts of old school karate as bunkai for this kata that I learned. So I really enjoyed that. Amazing training.